Hi, everybody. So this year for Megacon 2024, I'm one of the cosplay guests. It sounds so weird to say. Yeah, so I'm one of the cosplay guests for Megacon, and I'm so excited because I first went to Megacon over 10 years ago when I first started cosplaying, and it was like the very first con I went to. And now here we are. So I'm gonna show you guys my whole experience and what I'm gonna do. So at Mega this year, I am one of the costume contest judges and I will also have a few panels. And at my booth, I'll probably have like one or two of my works on display, as well as a few stuff I'll be selling. I'm juggling a few things on my schedule around this time as well, so hopefully the whole thing won't be confusing. But for the first day of Mega, setting up was a whole ordeal, and I was 2 hours behind schedule because of the building staff. The MegaCon staff was so nice and they tried to help me as much as they could. While waiting for my assistants to walk back to the con, I went right to work. For my booth setup, I like to create a layout that feels very welcoming, and I also tend to push my tables back in more so I can utilize whatever space there is. It's way less space on the other side, but I like to hang out in the front with people more anyway. The theming for this booth is somewhat a mixture of pastel colors and cottages. The decorating part is kind of just winging it. I wanted to make it feel organic and a place where people can come and decompress. I also want to have my work on display and to show off my new merchandise, so I had 4 body forms. 2 to display my recent Her Universe fashion show design, so people can see them up close versus just in photos or on the runway, and 2 more for the shirts. Finally, my assistants have arrived, and it's my friend eBay who's helping me the entire weekend, and Alex who's here for the day. These two really went through the stress of the day for me with the unloading, finding parking, and walking back from the hotel. They really understand how I work and what I want, so it was a quick and seamless setup. After a quick inventory and merchandise setup, the booth is all ready to go. Sometime later, right at con opening, I obtained a bigger table, flipped everything, and went with my original sketch, as you can see right here. So we were done with the booth, but I had one more setup, and it was to put my Cinderella gown on display. This was for the cosplay exhibit in the immediate area that features costumes and props from other cosplayers. This dress was funded by all my followers back in 2021, I think. So I would like to display it whenever I can because it represents the support that people have for me. And I would also like for them to have the chance to see it whenever the opportunity arises, versus just in photos. This was when the con first opened, and I wasn't in costume yet, which I should have been. But there was some people who found the cosplay area and they were behind a tripod watching me set up the dress, which to me is a weird feeling. But I've been trying to get more comfortable having people watch me set up my costumes, which is why I decided to do this out in the open. If you were around when I made this dress and helped send me all the materials, I still have all of your messages from my wish list, and I have them in a box by my sewing machine. So this mannequin was provided for me, and I didn't expect it to have an actual face on her because I never dressed a mannequin with a face before. So this one ended up being displayed as bald for hours into the evening as people passed by, and it looked so off, like there was a shape and the silhouette was missing something. But my friend Avera happened to have a blonde wig on her that day and kindly wigged Cinderella for me, and it made it so much better. So thank you. With the first day done, here's a quick intermission of me and Rachel spinning with her hobbit feet. For day 2, joining me in eBay is my friend Danny and her endless medical supplies to keep my eyeballs from drying up. So I have one panel this day and it's called Project Cosplay. So Project Cosplay is inspired by Project Runway, where I give away all my fabric scraps to everyone so we don't contribute to the fabric pollution. It starts with a panel of 3 judges that I pick from the audience, and they all decide who places what as each group designs and creates looks based on very little materials. And it is so funny to me knowing what originally each piece was used for. Like that section right there, that was me drafting a pattern with the same material. This person was braiding velvet, organza petals. It was so creative. This one's made out of fabrics that I used as draft and expensive purple chiffon from her universe. This group has it the easiest. They're using a literal shirt pattern that I drafted, and that headpiece, that lavender chiffon, is really expensive. For the big day, which is Saturday, and the rest of the weekend, my friend Faye Crafts jumped in to help me in eBay. I am gone from the booth almost the entirety of Saturday as I'll be judging the costume contest with my friends Avera and Dovah. I sort of felt the Saturday crowd when all of us and Allie had to swim through everyone to make it to the contest on time. And this is Pat, who was our coordinator. He literally made everything ran so smoothly. I've judged multiple craftsmanship contests before, but I will say that this is the first contest where I actually teared up when we were deliberating our places. I was literally lying on the ground holding build books because everyone is so talented, and it was really hard to not give someone an award when they were extremely spectacular in their craft and using multiple techniques. In our feedback panel the next day, we had to tell so many people to please enter the costume again in the competition because of how wonderful they were. And some people ask what they can do to make their costumes better, and our note is to them is nothing. There's nothing you can do to make it better because it's already perfect the way it is. It's just that this costume contest at Megacon is so stacked in skill levels and techniques and execution that it was just so hard to pick the winners. These costumes just have to be seen in person. The details are so immaculate and there are so many various techniques involved, and when the work is so clean, it's next to godliness. I'm just so grateful and honored to have been the judge for the 2024 Megacon costume contest because I got to see and admire the amount of work poured into each costume, and to see how people have grown and execute their work is just a gift. After meeting a few of the winners, I had a little bit of time to pop into the artist alley where my friends at Monster of the Week gifted me a prosperity frog for a Lunar New Year. I didn't really leave my booth the entire weekend, only with about 20 minutes left per night to explore the artist alley, but my friends Lexi and Daniel popped in on Sunday to watch the booth for us. And in my little trips, I got to deliver some of my merch to various vendors. Thank you so much to everyone who has visited me the entire weekend, popping in to say hi and giving me a hug, or you tried to and then you messaged me that you couldn't find me. It's the thought that counts. It really means a lot to me, and I remember every single one of you, really. While breaking down the booth, my friends Emily and Enon popped in to help, and they were just there to enjoy the con, but they said they wanted to help, and that is so kind of them. It took a few trips to the car, but we did it. I literally couldn't have done any of this without my friends giving me tips, taking care of the booth, taking care of me, and honestly, all of them. Especially to eBay, who was there the entire weekend, and eBay was basically my manager, hyping up my work, taking care of inventory, tracking everything, and so much more. Thank you to everyone at Megacon, especially Pat and Allie, for taking care of us that weekend. I'm sure there's more people that I missed, but until next time,